math lesson last week.
Yes.
That we did. One thing about notebook lessons, and it's really tough, is to remember what they can see and what they can't see.
Yeah.
You know?
I was like the whole time. I was like, oh my god. Okay.
And that's just getting to feel for the camera and how it works and where it's at. And as much as I hate it, and I do it too because of the way it's set up, not turning your back to the kids as much as possible.
I was wondering if we'd be able to flip it so like you could stand this way.
Yeah.
And write in it, and then you can see everybody there.
Yeah, I've done that in the past. I have done that. Again, it fiddles with your perspective on how it's projected.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay.
As long as, it was straight, but
it's just something that, and I noticed that because every time you turn your back to write on the thing, they couldn't see.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, gee, if I can't see and she's not looking at me, then these guys that are prone already to not work.
Right. And that was my
shot.
Yeah, that was my one big worry. I was like, I'm trying to turn around.
So it might be something to think about. But again, sometimes you just don't have a choice, you know, depending on, I mean, when I did 6 years ago, we had interactive whiteboards. And so interactive whiteboards were connected, all the computers were connected to the wall. You didn't have a choice. It was like, there was no fooling around with the manipulation. So one of the things that we did is, even though it's here, you're doing this, you know, type of thing. Which again makes it a little bit mental for you, but if that way, when you're writing, you're looking around at the same time. You have to, because this won't physically move.
Yeah.
So you have to move.
Yeah.
And it's, again, one of those feel for, get it, you know, experience for type of things.
It definitely was longer. Of course.
They are longer.
That's what, I was talking to Vanessa about it in the morning, and she was like, notebook lessons are long.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try my best, but
they are.
And then,
they are longer. They take more time because the kids are copying and doing, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right answers and not writing something weird down.
Yeah.
So it's constantly checking, constantly making sure, and it takes time. That's why I tried to do the vocabulary part ahead of time.
No, that was great. And then
I knew
having
you
them
wouldn't have time.
review that was good. And most of them could remember, so that was good. And then I liked doing the tape diagram first. That was, I thought, helpful, but I don't know how helpful or who that really helped.
Yeah, because
comparatively,
because they got it the second. I mean, that's one thing about the tape diagrams.
Yeah.
Is that it's like sometimes you use it and sometimes you don't. But you want to expose it to them. Like, I'm going to do the lesson today on area models for distributed property.
Yeah.
Not because I think that it's really useful, but because I'm pretty much sure, because I know the 10 marks, it's there. I am almost guaranteeing that there will be a question on the test, even though I've not seen the test, that will ask specifically about the area model of distributed property.
Does 10 marks do a lot more word problem type of stuff? Because I helped Elsie with a 10 mark problem today during recess, and it's all about how you pull the information from the words.
And that's because like SPAC is like that.
I was like, we did not do that.
Yeah, and that's why the 10, those were personal work problems, and I was really hesitant to give them the 10 marks for distributed property because it's so weird. Yeah. And I wanted to get them to understand what distributed property was first of all, and now I'm going to throw something at you that's just another way of looking at distributed property, and we're going to do it with area. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today, because I'd like to give them the tests. And the assessment looks just like the homework, and it's weird. It's not normal. So you have to teach them those different ways of looking at things and going, okay, so if this is how you're going to be assessed, I should probably teach you. Yeah. Which is the downside to Common Core, in my personal opinion, is that they test strategies more than they test learning. And to me, teaching strategies is you teach several different strategies because no child has the same brain or looks at the problem in the same way.
It is hard.
So that's what we're going to do today. But that's, you know, some of the things that I saw, you know, and the doing the games afterwards was great, except it was still too loud. I mean, I didn't like the organization, the way that it flowed. I mean, the kids were fine, but they all got to do one game. We did another one on Friday. We did the the dice game
Oh,
with
yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
So they were able to at least get that again.
Yeah.
The penguin puzzle, although really cool,
That was tough.
takes a long time.
That took a lot longer than
Yeah.
as
And my task cards, the kids were like, "This is too easy," you know. And I'm like, "All right, well, let's see if I can make it more complicated for you." So I was like on the whim making up problems because the task cards were too easy.
Yeah, the dice one was that was my favorite one I found because it gave room for like interaction at the same time as giving room for just practice of the practice of it. So that one was I'm glad everyone got to do that one.
Yeah. So that's what we did. I think the only ones that didn't is that Miss Wesky took some of the challenge kids.
Okay.
But those are the kids that were like, "Oh, okay, I already know this stuff."
Yeah.
So no worries on that.
Cool.
So that's what we're going to be. Today we're going to do the area model. I would like Vanessa to do a couple more of the penguins with some of the kids who didn't get to do the penguins.
Okay.
More copies of that. I guess I kind of got messed up.